She was 40 years old, no job, no money, no home. Her husband had left, her children were gone, and everyone around her said, "It is too late. Start over at 40? Impossible." But Sarah did not believe in impossible. And what she did next changed everything. Meet Sarah. Born in a small town in Illinois, she was a good student, a kind daughter, a hard-working woman. At 22, she got married. At 24, she had her first child. At 26, her second child was born. Life seemed perfect from the outside, but behind closed doors, everything was falling apart. Her husband spent money faster than she could earn it. Bills piled up. Arguments never stopped. And one cold morning, she woke up to find a note on the table. It said, "I am leaving. Do not look for me." Sarah sat at that kitchen table for 3 hours, not moving, not crying, just staring at those 6 words. She was 38 years old, 2 kids, empty bank account, and completely alone. Within 6 months, the house was gone. She could not pay the mortgage alone. Her children went to live with her mother temporarily. Sarah moved into a tiny one-room apartment, shared bathroom, no kitchen, $400 a month. She applied for jobs everywhere: waitress, cashier, cleaner, anything. Most places looked at her resume and said, "You have been out of work too long. We cannot hire you." She was rejected 50 times. 50 times. One night she sat on the floor of her empty apartment, back against the wall, knees pulled to her chest, and she asked God one question: "Is this really how my story ends?" She closed her eyes. And in that silence, she remembered something. When she was young, she used to bake cakes. For the entire neighborhood, everyone loved her baking. Her mother used to say, "Sarah, your hands were made for this." She opened her eyes, stood up, and walked to the tiny corner of her room. She had exactly $47 left. She spent $40 on basic baking supplies and kept $7 for bread and eggs. That night she baked. The next morning, Sarah packed her baked goods in simple paper bags, walked to her neighborhood, and knocked on doors. Some people ignored her. Some bought out of pity. But one woman, an older lady named Mrs. Patricia, took one bite of Sarah's cake and grabbed her arm. She said, "Young lady, this is the best thing I have ever tasted in my life. How much for a dozen?" Sarah did not even have a price ready. She said $10. Mrs. Patricia gave her 20 and said, "Bring me more tomorrow." Word spread in the neighborhood, then on the street. Then someone posted her cakes on a local Facebook group. Within 2 weeks, she had more orders than she could handle. Within 3 months, she rented a small kitchen space. Within 6 months, local cafes were ordering from her weekly. Within 1 year, she opened her own small bakery. She named it Patricia's Corner, in honor of the woman who believed in her first bite. The day she opened her bakery, her 2 children stood at the front door. Her daughter held a handmade sign that said, "We always believed in you, Mom." Sarah could not speak. She just held them both and cried. Sarah's story is not about baking. Sarah's story is about one thing. When life takes everything from you, it always leaves you one gift, one small forgotten talent, one tiny spark. Most people miss it because they are too busy crying over what they lost. But Sarah found her spark in a $40 bag of flour. You do not need a perfect age to start. You do not need perfect timing. You do not need anyone's permission. Sarah was 40 years old, broke, alone, and rejected. And she still made it. So if you are sitting somewhere right now, thinking it is too late, remember Sarah. Remember that $40. Remember that first knock on the door. Because your spark is still there. You just have to look for it. If Sarah's story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, and if you are ready. For more stories like this, subscribe to Before Your Last Day, because every week we bring you stories of real people, real pain, real comebacks. This is Before Your Last Day, and your story is not over yet.